yards. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Now Josh Scobie to attempt the extra point. And it's up and good to make the score 13-3. So he took that one at the 6, returned it all the way to the end zone. An electric return it was, 94 yards to the house. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This is fielded at the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield.
On second down, here's Wilson. And this is Ertz with it, right side. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Here's Wilson. This is White on the screen. And he's got Rome. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. And now a first down following that long gain. It's a 4-receiver look to the right side. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Again, Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Jacob Shum now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. They come out here in the eye. Now on second down, this is Gore. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. So here we go now, an extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Again, they run. Again, it's Gore. And they're going to get the first down here across the 15-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
Give them a lot of credit. They ended up running the ball on a key 3rd down situation. They were staring 3 and out in the face and found a way to flip the script and keep the ball moving on offense.
Let's go! 3-19!
They'll put this one in the hands of Randall Cobb. Oh, look at that. And it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. They send Thomas out to the right by himself. Now Wilson on first down. That's caught. It's Thomas. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And now they're in the hurry-up. On second down, Wilson. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
It certainly was, because everything that has to come together to get a pass completed, yeah, you're right. The sync just wasn't there.
Wilson now to throw on third down. This will be caught at about the 6. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Wilson will throw again. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Zach Ertz in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs are able to get this back within a touchdown.
Terrific. Touchdown. I know we've got a game now.
Yeah, I think anytime you go into the second half down just 1 or 2 scores, you feel not where you want to be, but in a pretty good spot.
And I think for most teams, when they go into the half in this situation, it's not a lot of adjusting going on. It's much more, all right, guys, let's just play a little bit better than we did in the first half.
And he puts it through there within 3. It's 13-10. 5 plays there on that drive. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL. So this guy's just sitting there, right? He's got like 30 hot dogs in front of him. And what's that? Apparently we're back. Okay, so Larry's halftime show got cut off. Sorry, we were doing story time here in the booth. We are ready, though, for the third quarter. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The third quarter starts with a run by Gore. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. A gain of 3, second down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And they're not going to get this one off in time. It'll be a delay.
Delay of game, offense. Still second down.
And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12. Gore back there is the lone setback. Now they'll run it on the toss. And some space here. Oh, the spin. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up the first down.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
In most cases on 3rd and short, you just try and move forward, stay in the middle of the field. But this offense must have seen something and thought they could get to the outside. Unfortunately, they weren't able to on that play.
Here's Brad Nordman now as he's on to punt for Seattle. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And he'll cut it to the right sideline. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. That one good for 10 yards. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Well, kind of interesting for sure. It worked out for them. They only had a yard to go. You know, when you do that fake punt, you're kind of starting back further than you need to when you only have 1 yard. Yeah, and I guess they felt like that was a true full fake because most of the time with a yard to go, you leave your offense on the field, you run something from your playbook. But here, they gave the full impression they were going to punt it away and picked up the first down. They definitely surprised us. I was going to say surprise, surprise. Time running out here on the play clock. On 1st down, it's Gore. Stiff-armed him. Muscles him off. Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
There are so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner, and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
He cuts out left sideline, a little room now. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
At halftime, you had to feel like the defense had to be in a good position. They had to feel good about themselves. They'd had this guy boxed in all game long, but after that run, that might be the breakthrough that he's looking for. Now they may have some difficulty dealing with him the rest of today.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Stay stays on his feet. And he showed some fancy footwork on the juke, but then quickly taken down. A couple of Chiefs there to bring him down. Gore back there is the lone setback. He's going to get the football. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
One thing I know, defensive coaches love it when they don't have to invite their players to the party. This strong safety, you never have to ask him twice to help in run support. He's going to arrive and in a bad mood.
On 3rd down, they'll run with Gore. And out of bounds, just shy of the end zone at the 1. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. I guess if you're going to run for it on 3rd down, not a bad idea to get behind your Hall of Fame left tackle there, Anthony Munoz.
He was so good, it was like a guard and a tackle was in the same body. You know, it was almost like they had an extra.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Frank Gore punching it in from a yard away. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
The play clock's running down. And they will not even get to the line here as we'll get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
Play clock winding down. And some real confusion here. They won't even get to the line.
Delay of game, offense.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Certainly no gimme here on the PAT. They're backed up now to a 42-yard extra point try.
Delay of game, offense.
Now from the 30, it's a 47-yard extra point try. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. And following the touchdown, Josh Scobie now will kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. What a spin. Spins past another.
Oh, my man.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. throwing now. Wilson on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Second and 10 now. Wilson. He's got time in the pocket. Ertz has it left side. And down he'll go at the 25. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. Offense in a little bit of a bind here. 9 yards to go on third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. Here's Jacob Shum now as he's on to punt for Kansas City.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Back now in Nashville. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth and final quarter. They'll start on the ground with Gore. And an alley to run. There goes Frank Gore. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Frank Gore, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Not only touchdown number 2 for him, but a big run to boot. However, still trailing.
Still trailing, but not because of his efforts. Boy, he's playing really well, and I love his long speed there, right? Able to get out there and burst all the way to the end zone, and smart enough to keep the ball in his hands and get into the end zone for the touchdown. In 2016, on all levels of football, we're seeing guys drop it before the goal line. What's the rule, Brandon? Run into the goal post.
That's right.
Before you drop the ball.
That.
There you go.
And following the touchdown, Josh Scobie now will kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. They send Thomas out to the right by himself. On first and 10, it's Wilson. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 5 receivers in the game, 4 of them to the left side. Here's Wilson. And a quick throw here that's complete. And an athletic hurdle that he displayed. Not a whole lot thereafter, but a nice game.
Defense. Still second down.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On second down, here's Wilson. Got an open man, it's a noon one. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. At 5 yards on the play there, it's a drive will continue.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Offside. Defense.
It's a four-receiver look, all to the left side. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed, I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
On first down, Wilson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Calais Campbell in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And a dump off to White. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it is incomplete. The Tide Bulls tried it, went for it, but it didn't pay off. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. A gutsy decision there at this stage in the second half in their own territory, and a decision that they might regret.
Can't wait for the post-mortem. You know, this post-game press conference, because the questions are going to come fast and furious about this decision, no matter how the game turns out, right? What were you thinking there? Why? Did you have a certain play call? Were you confident in your defense? Oh, yeah. Why? It's going to keep coming up.
Yeah, no matter the scoreboard, just tough to justify. Now it's Gore. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that, plus 3.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw, Cousins. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Sammy Watkins, 34 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other...
Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. Fighting through. And this play is not going to work. He's out of bounds, well shy of the goal line. And they try for 2, unsuccessful. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Room here to run. It's Clay Matthews with a pick. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And the lead is now an even 30. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Back to the air, Wilson after the pick six. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jonathan Babineau forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now Wilson. Ertz has it left side. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages. They go play action with Wilson. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Jacob Shum now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
This is fielded at the 27. Oh, he slipped right by him. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Throwing here, Cousins. Flush to his right. And he's got some space here. Uses this stiff arm. A good pickup there at 22.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him. And he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Gore back there is the lone setback. And he'll get it up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football.
admit that I used to draw portraiture in a human form, doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing, moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and amused from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth who refused to belong. No-name nuisance, lose in a bedroom, booze in a brand new cuneiform. Barely commune with the horde, got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone amp to the yap of the magpie, unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, little bit of backlight, black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get 3 dimensions stuffed in a 2. Then it's off to a school where it's all that you do, being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a 2-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod, distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of deer in the light, I left some will the spirit away. I let my fears materialize, I let my skills deteriorate. Horn about a thought of what I should have been, continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky, it's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. Used to paint, hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face, stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was blooming addiction, a missing a push and a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin look. Pinhead kids in a minute, drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic. And I grew up in a linseed oil ever linen. Joy to the poison, voice to the resin. Capture a map of a gesture. Back up, add a little accurate fat to the figure. Redo that, move that inward. Zinc white lightning shoots from his fingers. Studio girl with illusion and tinctures. Stay tuned for the...
Still a long way to go in this draft, but if you can lock up a few key positions here in the first few picks, it's a great luxury to have.
Routine day with a dirt cheap brush, then a week goes by and it goes untouched. Then 2, then 3, then a month, and the rest of your life to beat yourself up. I left some seasons eager to fall. I left some...
One thing this team's going to need is some leaders, and they've got one right here.
Eating up his innards and
Yeah, no surprise here. Anytime you can get your hands on a player of his caliber, I think you pretty well have to pull the trigger.
shapes falling out of the frame. All heart though we would have made.
This is a pretty telling pick here. Do you go for a big bruiser up front, or get yourself someone who could be a difference maker at a skill? So with a handful of instant impact right there, that's a big leap forward from what they had on the roster to begin with.
Cowardly kings, they will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just...
In these middle rounds, you have to start asking yourself, yeah, I think they got the best player there, and they got a guy that fills a big need, so that's an excellent choice.
And I go by the name of Wyclef. I'm more at the band.
Where to now? Do you get yourself a big brute for the trenches, or someone who can really help you out at a playmaker type spot? Now it's getting to the time of the draft where you really want to get lucky and hope somebody falls into your lap. These are tough decisions here, offense or defense, and there's a pick that'll certainly help. Maybe not an impact signing, but you're not going to hit a home run every round. Still a few holes on this roster, and not a lot of time left to do anything about it. We've seen the Chargers represented already. Might one of his teammates join him? Boy, it's finger-crossing time now. With the end in sight and a few more holes to fill, you've got to be hoping that there's still a gem or two that becomes available. Oh, did they get themselves a player here or what?
Comes with the territory, ball players wanna date her. All we got is loyalty, I'm treating you like royalty. I'ma spoil you every day of the week. Shot is in the basement party, yeah. Turn into the greatest party, yeah. Never see my baby coming. Just once, then we went up. Yeah, my love tripping. Now I feel my body drifting. My body dripping. But she got me lifted, my tripping.
The lineup screen should be pretty self-explanatory. If you'd like to make some executive decisions on your lineup, you can do so here.
Hey, baby. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale, now breathe, baby. Hey, baby, baby, hey, baby. Hey, baby, baby, hey, baby. Yeah. Inhale. Exhale.
Boy, we've just gotten started here, and already these guys... Boy, you talk about a talented player. This guy's one of the best around. Boy, the skills just leap out at you with this guy. He will be a very important part of this ball club.
You never had your head this way. Are you still living in the place? They told me you've been doing okay.
What to do here? Build up the interior of your line or get that skill player to add another weapon?
We show our hearts yet entirely. Deliver me from reality.
These middle rounds are where your decisions can really impact your team. Because if you pass on certain positions, there's no guarantee you're going to see him again. Now, I'm not sure that this selection is going to provide a huge punch, but he's at least a guy that does have some upside.
You catch me.